aqui. Seus olhos me olharam enquanto você segurava a minha mão. Já sei o que você tinha pra falar.
On today's episode, featured videos from...
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of the supplemental broadcast here on Alexandria, an OK Copernicus production. I'm your host, Jess. Please be sure to follow the entire archival project. #YouTube Recommended Chronicles on X or Tumblr for the latest videos, music, memes, and more. Descriptions for all of today's videos and featured music, and where to come follow me for all the videos I don't get to go over with you guys, and there's a ton every day and lots of really good stuff. Go on down to the description box and your links will be right there. So let's get on into today's featured video recommendation, shall we? We're going to start our show off today with the channel Jeff Buys Cars with a candid examination on the current conditions here in America. It would appear, pardon me, let me get situated. It would appear that the entire world is more aware of our condition at present than many of our unawakened countrymen have been as of late. After getting to talking with some other UK citizens about a lackluster vacation to San Francisco, Jeff started inquiring about how things are doing over here in our sector of the Western world. Check out this video and more for some spot-on analysis related to matters often discussed over here on the supplemental broadcast. Next up is one of my regular reliables for primary source news footage on YouTube, the Forbes Breaking News channel. In our selection today, we take another look at the congressional hearing with the university professors that I mentioned last episode, actually. This clip shows footage of the president of Harvard University. If it is okay to segregate people based to asking if it's okay to segregate people based on their skin color. To see how this went, head on over to watch the link. Click down in the video's description for more. Third up, the guys at Trigonometry make it back on the program today with their interview with Buck Angel in the video about stopping the medicalization of children, as it has been being pushed under the deceptive doublespeak embedded in the term gender affirming care. Contrary to what the ideologues would have you believe, my show highlights all the brave trans men and women who stand up for the safety of children and the validity of the biological sexes. You know, the end of the lies and indoctrination being pushed on so many individuals by the state and other vested interests. Take a deep dive into the voices the totalitarian oppressors don't want you to hear, because it debunks all of the woke tards' rhetoric. Now, let's move on to our good buddies at Redacted, who harbors doctors that commit rape while doing alleged humanitarian work. The WHO does. Of course, the World Health Organization's down with that. Check out this clip from Redacted for the details and receipts on this phenomenon recently revealed. A must-hear story about a must-put on about a must-hear story about a man put on trial for war crimes, kind of organization. Yeah, like, this is really bad. Like, they do really horrible things in literally third world countries. I'm just going to tell you right now, the World Health Organization is part of depopulation. They do not care about your health. Go check out Redacted for stories of this flavor and variety. It sinks into that UN Agenda 2030 and all this ULEZ crap and all this ESG. Yeah. I'm onto them, and I'm going to get y'all onto them, too. Up next, we have Mayar 2CTV. He is a fantastic independent journalist who has a channel on YouTube covering the evidence linking George Soros to aiding Islamists to attempt the destruction on Israel. For more news like this as it breaks, be sure to follow 2CTV for a reliable and vigilant alternative media outlet. To round out our list of today's features, we have a video here from Brylan Riggs, who does an in-depth look from a Christian perspective on Lil Nas X, the content of some of his admissions and statements about God, that, you know, like from social media interviews, what have you. The music industry and its overt satanic overtones are something that all people need to be very concerned about, not only the Christian community. Brylan does a really great job taking us through his sources and explain to us his concerns with some biblical excerpts to back up where he is coming from, as the Bible suggests one does when presenting a concern about others regarding anything. He provides insight that we all need to take into account. Please give his channel a try and learn more about similar issues and stories that have become so very common here of late. Like literally 2023, all these like Satanists popped up everywhere, even making little kids clothes at Target. It's ridiculous people. So now it's time for best part of the show, auspicious op-ed. Let's say some words now, shall we? All right. I don't consider myself a team player in general terms, especially in terms of abstract political notions like patriotism and nationalism, primarily because most people in my demographic don't have any real clout or power that has been recognized or respected. From what I can tell, most of the mild-mannered independent thinkers enjoy a quiet, peaceful life where everyone minds their own business, are not frequently heard on many soapboxes. But I think that is all changing, and that is very encouraging. It is clear that our individual sovereignty hasn't been respected very much since the 19th century, around the time of what appears to be a societal reset that only a brave few have been trying to alert us all to for decades. Now that our national sovereignty is abysmal at best across the Western world, it is time to very much question each and every encroachment to our basic human freedoms that are being eroded at a rate that hasn't been seen since the early 20th century. It is amazing to me watching all the affluent liars deluded with some notion that the world is somehow better or safer than it was 100 years ago, when that is only true for the insatiable at the top, whose moods fluctuate with economic data. Have there been improvements in specific things? Absolutely. But overall, looking at the big picture, when we look at the entire population, this notion of convenience and technology improving our lives is marginal or backwards. In the case of the lesser 50% of society at a bare minimum. Science is bought, just like politicians, and the elite's preferred method of problem solving is ludicrous mathematics and think tanks composed of the least human-like humans anyone could be dared to wrangle together in the name of humanity. I suppose the theme I started with is coming full circle now. There are no team players in any industry when we really look deeply into intent, goals, and values. I don't see myself as a team player normally, but now that I see how those on actual teams who need to work together for the sake of the greater good can't because it works against their self-interests, perhaps I am more of a team player than I gave myself credit for, and maybe you are too. Who would have thought this big education, work, die in nursing home concept was just an excuse to expand and rebrand slavery? I'll be honest, none of this set right with me once I was school age and saw how all of us were treated outside of our homes. It was awful. It clearly was a lifelong psyop that those who could not be brainwashed end up being persecuted, impoverished, incarcerated, involuntarily committed, or worse, because with enough dissidents, the others would obviously wake up. Let us become better team players. Let us look out for each other's best interests, and let's help alert the others. Let's let them all know that we're awake, aware, and ready to assist in whatever ways we can. We are all unique, multifaceted beings once we become aware of the possibilities and put the effort in. Let's show them what beings of light can do when we get together and pool some resources and thoughts. If the dark forces could pull off what they have done with the time, resources, and methods they invested, just imagine what the forces of light can do. I assure you it's exceptionally and exponentially greater what we could do given the same exact resources and time they have been so privileged to squander. And that brings us to the end of today's show. Today's musical selection, Float and Flow, under my project, Hunter Hackz and the Western Pleasures. Links for music and more down in the description. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Supplemental Broadcast. Stay prepped, stay safe, and just keep on being awesome, everyone. Share, let people know what's going on, and make sure that you're getting your voice heard out there, because they are trying to silence us. Have a great one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Seus olhos me olharam enquanto você segurava a minha mão. Já sei o que você tinha pra falar, mas eu não consegui mais esperar.